the GTA Online griffer problem has been a problem for a while, and I'm not gonna be breaking down what it's about or why it's a subject of frustration for many people. I'm sure all of you that are watching this video right now have either been victimized by it or have lived long enough to become the villain. This frustration of mine is not only directed to the griffers themselves, but Rockstar as well, the people who actually made this system where players are quite incentivized to be griffers, to bully other players. How do they do this, you may ask? They literally tell you, hey, that guy in your lobby, by the way, he's delivering something for his business. How about you go up to him and just blow up his stuff, and we'll give you this shit amount of money for it. Little rewards when you with people's in-game operations. Oh, and all the futuristic toys and tools at your disposal to with people's in-game operations. And the feature to respawn in a few seconds at the same damn place that will allow you to come at them over and over again, even if they kill you. So you with their in-game operations. It's all pros and no cons for a griffer, whereas the victims can't profit in any capacity from the fact that they have to deal with all this shit. They have to deal with all these disadvantages on their end. It's simply unfair, and I've prayed so damn hard that none of these systems will exist in any capacity in GTA 6 Online. But all this time I sat and complained about this, but I had no proper, tangible approach that I could even recommend to Rockstar to begin with. A system that could end all this frustration and everyone is happy. Just have everyone happy, you know? That's until I watched this anime, Shangri-La Frontier. If you haven't watched it, that's fine. We are only really here to highlight a specific concept that I saw in the show. The anime is set in the near future, where games that use old-fashioned display screens are classified as retro games, while full-dive VR games have become commonplace, as a result of these games becoming It's So That Online. But way better, in my opinion at least. Anyway, this game in the anime, being an MMO, naturally has factions, groups of players that ally with each other based on common interests. We've got groups that like in-game fauna, so their whole thing is just scouring around for just that. We've got groups that are bent on taking down special monsters, and the group we'll be looking into in this video is a group of player killers. That's it. They're player killers. They kill other players. These players are marked with a skull icon of sorts on their health bar hovering above them, and the in-game community has grown to fear and hate them. Now, I'm not sure why they chose to kill other players. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention as much, but as far as I know, there was really no mention of any benefits or perks gained from killing other players in this anime. Okay, so we get to a point in the runtime of the anime where there's an update for the game, and with this update, one of the major changes is that when a player kills another player who is marked as a player killer, in addition to claiming the bounty on them, they earn the rights to any items and equipment the player killer was carrying and all the stuff they have in storage. So these devs in the anime saw the player killing to be out of hand and implemented a system to combat that, unlike Rockstar. The group of player killers in this anime are known to come by especially rare and high-tier gear, so this leads to a situation where a new faction of player arises. Bounty hunters, or rather player killer hunters. One of the main characters in the anime, who happens to be a player killer, even refers to the existing player killers being seen as walking treasure chests. I couldn't help but draw parallels from this with GTA Online. Heck, other MMOs, any other MMO where player killing has become a problem for the community. Player killers in this situation, of course, are griffers, spiteful scum of the earth, hell-bent on ruining your day for a cheap laugh. And the player killers being the GTA Online player base that to this point has been fighting back with no benefits whatsoever, if not guarding your life or your goods. And also well-wishers who protect the weak, going out of their way to hunt and kill griffers in lobbies Now, I do acknowledge that this system has some flaws, especially if it's applied as it is to GTA Online or GTA 6 Online. It does feel like this is a system that simply kills the need to do any sort of bullying or griefing in the game. And as much as that's music to my ears, I like that so much, it's not exactly what we're going for. Everyone's happy, remember? A situation where everyone is happy to me is a situation where I'd say most major activities in the game have almost equal pros and cons to it. So as much as this system will add a risk factor to becoming a griefer as it is, there's no benefit to it. It will just lead to dying out of the class. This is where the multiplier system comes in clutch. Again, let's look outward to a game I played back in the day, Need for Speed Rivals. This game had a lovely little feature called the hit system. It's been a while since I've played the game, so you'll just have to forgive me if I can't quite remember the specifics, but to keep it simple, as a racer in the game, the more events played, head-to-head races won, cops wrecked, cops outrun, etc., the higher your multiplier will get. If you get caught or wrecked by the police, your multiplier will drop. This multiplier will directly influence the rewards you reap in the game. So let's say you win a race and the rewards are 10 points for winning that race. If you had a multiplier of 3, then that's 30 points you won from the race. If you had a multiplier of, let's say, 30, that's 300 points you've won from a race that was initially only worth 10 points. So this game created this system where you're out and about in the world. It was an open world with a particular multiplier and maybe more than enough points. You could go back to the safe house and just cash in all your points. But you don't wanna, because you just wanna keep going and getting that multiplier up and getting better rewards. But the multiplier being up means more intensity from the cops that are pursuing you. So we're creating this scenario where rewards are directly proportional to the risk at hand. Despite being always victimized by this system because I was just too greedy, I adored this aspect about the game. Now back to GTA Online and GTA 6 Online. Let's combine these two systems I've covered into one cohesive formula, if you can say that. So we have a system in GTA Online where griefers, player killers, earn the player killer status after killing a player or players around, let's say, 3 times. So say you kill 3 players in succession, there goes a player killer symbol and everything. What does this mean for this man? Now that he's a player killer, if another player kills them, they earn the right to a particular item in the inventory or storage. This could be the Lamborghini in his garage, or the funds in his nightclub business safe, or I don't know, military grade assault rifle, whatever. Anything is fair game. But unlike in the anime Shangri-La Frontier, my system doesn't give the bounty hunter the right to all items the player killer has, only a limited amount. How do we determine the amount of items to take, or what to take, you may ask? We simply weigh the sins of the player killer. And how do we weigh the sins of the son of a bitch? The multiplier comes in clutch here again. Depending on the number of player lives the player killer has extinguished, they gain a particular multiplier. Let's say killing 5 players is a multiplier of 2. A multiplier of 2 gained. And let's say 10 players gets you a multiplier of 3. This is all hypothetical, of course. I'm not suggesting those specific numbers. I'm just saying, hypothetically, 5 players, multiplier of 2, 10 players, multiplier of 3. So if a bounty hunter kills this fella, they will claim the bounty on them, and they will grab an item from their inventory or storage whose worth is directly proportional to the multiplier the player killer had accrued before dying to them. So if the player killer had killed 5 people, that's a multiplier of 2, they could lose to the bounty hunter a maximum of items worth, let's say, 1.5 million GTA dollars. So 1.5 million GTA dollars for a multiplier of 2. So the bounty hunter can only claim items or an item worth 1.5 million. Let's say a Lambo is worth 1 million and a sum of $500,000 is in this guy's safe. So the bounty hunter can take these 2 items or choose any other thing as long as it's 1.5 million or lower that's in this player killer's possession. If the player killer had killed 10 people, that's a multiplier of 3, they could lose to the bounty hunter a maximum of items worth 3 million. So let's say that's how it scales. 1.5 million for a multiplier of 2, 3 million for a multiplier of 3. And as we have established, in this situation, the hunter can claim items worth 3 million from the player killer storage or any of his items on hand. Okay, now, the same multiplier is linked to the amount of rewards the player killer earns from jobs, heists, missions, or all other events that players can earn any sort of cash in or points or whatever we'll have. Meaning a player killer with 5 kills, he has a multiplier of 2. Remember, this player killer could get more rewards from various events due to the multiplier they've got on them, the multiplier of 2. With this, we introduce a system where one is incentivized to kill other players, but also just as much is incentivized not to. Okay, now there can be systems that exist for those who want out of the player killer status. Systems that are just as taxing, like paying a sum of money that's linked to the multiplier itself, or doing a good deed or whatever. I don't know, something in those lines. Getting killed by another player, of course, dissolves you of your player killer status and erases your multiplier. Killing friends or any sort of organized killing between 2 parties will not trigger the player killer status or the multiplier feature. And of course, you can play around with this system and make it better, like other ways to gain a multiplier through activities like crimes against NPCs and participation in world events. So players can gain a multiplier without necessarily being player killers. A multiplier without a player killer status, of course, means no one has the rights to your stuff if they end up killing you. Though I think this multiplier without the player killer status shouldn't be gained as fast as killing another player would, because remember, these guys could lose a lot if they die to someone. I believe this is perfect. More than perfect for griffers and just balancing the whole dynamic in GTA Online. Now, because of the nature of the system, I do believe implementing it in GTA Online wouldn't be for the best, simply because GTA Online as it is right now might create a lot of loopholes, to say the least. Like, due to heists, jobs, and other events in GTA Online being hosted in a map separate from the public lobby map, we could have situations where players kill others a lot to earn a multiplier right before running to the safety of heists and job maps, simply because lobby players, like the overall players, can't get to them while they are running these jobs and heists in their separate maps. We could have a situation where players use GTA Online mods to obtain a multiplier or give out multipliers as they please. And so many other situations. I'm sure I can't even imagine some right now. For this system to work, we need a clean slate, a new way of doing things, new way of doing jobs, missions, heists, a better in-game economy without crazy inflation that can allow the multiplier system to be as fair as it can get. We need modding to become a thing of the past. We need a platform where killing other players doesn't come as easy or as cheap as it does in GTA Online. We literally walk around with the military might of a third world country in this game. When you've got more than enough ammunition to support an intercontinental war, I think killing another player becomes more of an afterthought than just breathing air or something. We need GTA 6 Online for something like this to work. A clean slate that has redone all the systems in a better, fairer way. A GTA 6 Online with almost none of the bad, poor, or unbalanced systems and situations existing in GTA Online. Or just go full RP where all this griffer shit is not in the game's culture. Maybe that's why more people are interested in roleplay than GTA Online, because the dumb systems just suck. GTA Online balancing is just... I'm not saying I'm into RP servers though. They've always been far too real for me. Like, dudes go on there for the most mundane jobs and act the part as much and as long as they can. It's just not for me. But GTA Online is a much worse reality than RP. I've always wished for more of an in-between of these two. Anyway, that's all from me. I'm sure if I keep on going, I'll fumble and diminish what I've already established. So I'll just stop there and hand it off to you. Give me your thoughts, opinions. Do you agree with my little system, or do you simply think it just won't work? Tell me, let me know if this idea is also let me know if you've got any better ideas. I believe that the true solutions will not only come from videos like this, but also the comments that accompany videos like this. Leave a like if you liked it. Bye.